Hello and very warm welcome to this video. Now in this video I'm going to look at what's happened in the world of making tax digital. As of the date that has been recording here, we're on the 8th of August 2026, which means we're the day after the very first quarter one has ended. So that means that a lot of people have had to file their very first making tax digital. Now, full disclosure from my end, I've been filing making tax digital since 2022, so I'm fully aware of which software and what solutions and the way it works, and I've got horror stories and positive stories to go with it, right? But we've just completed our first quarter, so now's the time to have a reflection. What worked, what didn't work, what's working and what's not, especially from the world of software. So join me as we go through the different software options, how we found them, how they've been working for us, and give you some insight for you if you're looking to file yours in either the next quarter or the next year. Roll the intro. Hello buddy, my name's Aaron Patrick. I am a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with a fancy new logo, that QuickBooks chap on the internet, and the head of Accountants Advisory Group, which looks after brands such as Bofix and BusinessWorks, which should hopefully look after all of your accounting and bookkeeping needs. And also, I'm a friendly podcaster who goes live each and every Monday morning for Ask the Accountant. Now, in today's video, we're going to look straight into the world of making tax digital, what solutions are out there, which have worked, which hasn't, and go from there. Now, as the QuickBooks chap, we might as well go straight into QuickBooks and give you a bit of a rundown of how they've done in their making tax digital journey. Now, first of all, they were the most controversial. We've talked about it on this video, first of all, and we know exactly what's happened. If you've seen any of my videos before, they really did drop the ball in my eyes, because what they did was they killed their making tax digital product just before making tax digital went live, which was a big problem, but we've all kind of gone through and sorted from there. Their best solution that they have currently for making tax digital is their Sole Trader Plus solution, which is basically a simple version of Simple Start, which is ironic, really, isn't it? But it does what it does on the tin. Sole Trader Plus is this solution in front of me. It's fine. It is QuickBooks, and I love QuickBooks, obviously, because I am the QuickBooks chap. And it's been a really easy solution for us to give our team members, and it's been one of those that's been like our fallback, really. If we've got nothing else available for clients and they want us to do it for them, pretty much we go straight into here. It's quick, it's simple, it's straightforward. But for end users, it has been far too complicated for them, I can't lie. We've had more cleanups and stress and problems and issues for using QuickBooks Sole Trader than we've had in any of the other solutions out there. It is fine. It does what it does on the tin. They changed the whole making tax digital area for us a couple of days before the actual submission deadline. They're better changes, but they're still changes, right? And changes just cause stress and problems. So yeah, look, QuickBooks Sole Trader to me gets a 7 out of 10. In fact, no, it doesn't. It gets a 6 out of 10 because it was a product that was rushed out of the market, and you can tell, right? You can tell it wasn't the finished product. I think over time it will get better, but it will never be as simple and as straightforward as what their original making tax digital product, which was called QuickBooks Sole Trader, and that's a real shame, because I think that's what everyone needed, was that simplicity approach. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for QuickBooks Sole Trader Plus. Next one we might as well look at is Xero. Xero itself has 4 options on here. We're obviously going to look at the lowest one, which is £16 per month. It's the Ignite solution, and it looks a little bit like this. Now, Xero itself had a really interesting story into making tax digital. In my opinion, it decided that it wasn't really going to cater for the whole of making tax digital. And it can deal with any kind of scenario. But what it was really going to focus on, and what it kind of shouted about, and I applauded it for this, and I don't do that often with Xero, you can tell, but I really, honestly, I'm so grateful they've gone down this route, is they went for the complex making tax digital scenarios. So an example of a complex one is if you've got both your normal sole trader income and you've got some rental property as well. Now, in the QuickBooks world that we just looked at, that's 2 licenses and having to split them and all sorts of mess that comes with it. if we go back to Xero, though, you can do it all in one license. And the beauty of it is the really complex ones is, imagine you've got sole trader income and you've got a rental income, but your rental income is split between yourself and your wife. But that's one property. And then second property you've got between your sisters and your brothers. And you can have a whole concoction of complicated scenarios when it comes to making tax digital. Xero explained and told everyone that that's what they're going to do. So for that, I hugely have respect for them. And I think if they'd have been able to nail that solution, this would be an absolutely rock solid solution for those complex ones. The problem is it never quite materialized like that. The idea, the premise and everything else, it's all there. I just think they need some time to really cook on it, to really understand it, to really get out all the bugs and issues that come with it. If they can, and in fairness to them, right, that's a really complex, hard area. They've chosen to go for the most complex bit. So I don't do this very often, but I'm giving them a pass, right? Because they've gone for the complex one that no one else really has gone for. And they've gone and they've tried to deliver on that complexity that goes with it. They haven't quite nailed it, in my opinion. We had more complications filing on our Xero clients than any other clients out there. More so than anything was just adding those transactions and adding the making tax digital bit to it, which is way too complicated. But once we got that sorted, we got through that kind of headache, got through that nuance of doing that, which just didn't follow suit from the rest of the industry. Then we did have a few problems in actually delivering the complexity that it was promising, right? But now that we've done that, now that we've gone through it, now that we've gone through that pain, does feel like we're in a better position for it overall. So I'm happy. I feel like they've tackled an area that was really struggling for them. And in fairness, they haven't quite nailed it in every single scenario, but it's quirky that they've gone for that kind of more complex area. So I'd give them a 7 out of 10. If they'd have achieved what they wanted to do, it's an easy 9, but it was a 7 out of 10 because they didn't quite get it over the line for quarter one. Hammock. Hammock was a very interesting one, right? So Hammock itself is all about just looking at rental income. Now, I really liked their idea. And to be honest, Hammock was kind of born out of Making Tax Digital. At least it was ramped up because of Making Tax Digital. So it's a solution that is for rental property only. And you can tell because it really does look at the rental side of things. It looks at what you're going to need. It looks at the tenancies, it looks at portfolios, you can split them. It's a really clever solution purely for that rental market. But Making Tax Digital did show some flaws in it. So I love the simplicity of this here. Here's an example of you kind of putting the information in. But you can't reconcile. You can't bring it into you can't show that it's at the right figures and that I've got this apparently here £898.23 in this dummy account. I've no way of knowing if that's how much I've got in my bank account really, and no real way of knowing. It's got some clever things like it will be able to split down some rental statements for you. So if you do have rental statements and you get X amount in your bank, but it's actually income less load expenses, you can track them properly. Mortgage, for example, it will split between if it's a interest only or if it's a capital and interest, and it'll split to make sure that's being paid off properly. There are nice bits about it. There are bits where it does work quite well. But I feel like as a reviewer, as someone who was looking at this and trying to make sure it's ready for my clients, I just didn't quite feel like I got it over the line. And I felt like I was doing sometimes a disservice to our clients because we were spending way too long reconciling, way too long looking at it, and ultimately had to charge our clients more because we just didn't have the confidence that everything was right and everything was there. Now, some of that's on us because some of that's a training thing for us to do. But other things is just because the software just didn't really give us the tools that we get in the other software to have confidence in actually what the numbers are. As accountants and bookkeepers, our role is to be confident in the numbers that we've got. Our role is to make sure that we're confident that that stuff's right. When we're looking at items like this, and we haven't got a really easy way of looking at what the bigger picture is and how, what's in the bank account and what the statuses are and all that sort of stuff that we get to use in other products, it just feels like it was a bit of a more of a difficult slog getting these over the line. That being said, it was good that they've got new partnerships now with QuickBooks and they've still got their partnership with Sage, so it was nice to kind of see all that being connected And we definitely made the most of those partnerships. I think that works quite well. Yeah, it's just a shame that I feel like this was their moment to shine, right? This was their opportunity to absolutely blow us all out the water. They didn't quite make that landing. So 7 out of 10 for me. The next one was a bit of a darling for me when it came to Making Tax Digital, mainly because this little fella finally got hold of him. His name's Vinny, and he is Free Agent's little mascot in the world of Making Tax Digital. And trust me, having this guy on your side has been a big blessing in getting through that first Making Tax Digital filing. But what Free Agent brought to the table was their integration with their Metal bank account. So for anyone who hasn't seen them, we've got videos on it, so go and have a look at it. But Metal itself is a bank account created by NatWest and RBS and all those sort of stuff, but it is designed to be for the small sole traders. And what also it brings to the table is this connects directly to Free Agent, and it has like a two-way sync to it. So as I'm just making payments, as I pay people as I go along, as I make payments and everything else through here, I can do it all in this bank account, and it syncs perfectly with Free Agent. And that's been a real time saver. It's been a real benefit for us to be able to work with our clients. What we're telling clients is they're doing data entry on here, not bookkeeping. Let's use that term for when we're actually doing bookkeeping. So data entry on here, and that means then for Making Tax Digital purpose, we go straight into our Free Agent. We don't have to worry about is the bank connected or that sort of stuff. And we can see that the data entry the client's done. We just need to go through and approve those transactions, make sure they've put them to the right category, work through them, all that sort of stuff. And it's just got a really nice tight integration. They also came up with some wonderful little updates during the Making Tax Digital period. On their socials, they've been really active in giving us some insights and giving some helpful tips and tricks. Honestly, hats off to them. They have absolutely nailed it. As I've said before, my only disadvantage of Free Agent is that you have to really, in my opinion, you have to get either a Metal account or a NatWest account. And that's not guaranteed, right? There are reasons why you might not be eligible for those accounts, and so on and so forth. So that's been my only frustration, is that I don't always feel like I'm kind of on top of it, or that I've got that bit nailed down. And because it's not our first choice of software, sometimes it can be a bit frustrating to kind of get things done and everything else. Free Agent is designed to have guardrails after guardrails, because it's designed so that when the data goes in absolutely spot on. But when that data hasn't gone in spot on, it doesn't give us the same cool tools we're used to in other solutions to quickly mend them and quickly fix them and everything that goes with it. They're slowly getting better. They've brought out some new tools to help us help our clients more. So we are in the right path with them, but it's not quite there yet. But despite that, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. The Making Tax Digital process, they helped more than anyone else in setting up your Making Tax Digital requirements. They've been on it in terms of making sure that the payment points and the pain points that come with it, you can see they've really taken Making Tax Digital seriously. And unlike Intuit and Xero, which have kind of like tepid in that Making Tax Digital world, they've really gone for it, really brought a new solutions, new helpful bits, new points to really help it. So yeah, you get a 9 out of 10 from me. Oh, did I say that Free Agent is completely free if you have that Metal or NatWest account? Worthwhile looking into if you didn't know that already. And then we have Sage. Sage have definitely seen Making Tax Digital as an opportunity to start winning back some hearts and souls of accountants and bookkeepers that they may have not lost, that may have not had them at their best interest going forward. They brought not one, but two really important solutions to Making Tax Digital world. The first one being Sage Sole Trader, which is a free solution, mobile first, really capable solution that actually we've been able to give to quite a few of our clients that just needed something, right? And they didn't feel like paying for a solution was right for them at this point in time, which is totally understandable. That solution has been really useful, and it integrates nicely in what's called Sage for accounts, Sage accounting, and it means that we can work with our clients nice and easily. Then they did the creme de la creme. They partnered with Tide, HSBC, Barclays, Monzo, and they've got more coming. And they've created what's called Sage Embedded Services. And what that means is that by using those banks, just like we had with that metal option that I just showed you, now you have a whole raft of all other accounts that are using that same idea, where once you've been attached as the accountant, and you can attach directly to the accounts, not by asking the accountant to sign into some software and then actually attach it for them and jump through those hoops. No, in their banking app, they give you a code, and you use that code to go and attach yourself. I mean, the end client can just use their bank account, in my case Tide, make transactions directly in the bank account, do that data entry that we spoke about, and if by magic those transactions appear directly into what's called the Sage accounting area, it means those transactions those clients are doing can automatically come directly into the software we're using. And it's been designed to be MTD first, right? Like, it is designed to make sure that it's asking for those photos to be taken as the client's doing it, but instead of it being taken in their banking app and going into nowhere man's land, it's going directly here where we can utilize it. It's giving us features where we can mass update things. It's giving opportunities for us to check and flag and put the information in. And it's just the start. They've shown me some behind the scenes of it's looking at maybe features where we can ask clients problems and questions and go through from there. They've really taken all the pain points that we've had from Making Tax Digital and been able to generate actual solutions I think are going to be really powerful for it. I've got more of a breakdown of the Sage Embedded Services coming soon. But I really, really do think that this is something that we really need to look at more than anything else. And I think it's something that we really want to keep an eye on, and keep an eye on what updates are coming. Now, it's not perfect. There are bits at the moment where it's difficult for me, even me as an accountant bookkeeper, to get my head around some of the bits in the app, right? Like I'm struggling to do certain things, and I'm struggling what things mean and everything else, right? And the problem with that learning curve is that you have to really have the app to play with it, to understand it, to get to grips with it. But I think if they can get rid of that issue, and what we're doing is we're breaking down that barrier. We're making it super easy for us to have those smaller clients and be able to actually look after them. And if they can nail the smaller clients, that will start cascading up to your bigger clients going forward. But honestly, I'm so impressed with what Sage has done. 2 products, one of them completely free, one of them a massive game changer that I think we all need to keep an eye on. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. And I think that really sums up how we are. Sage and Free Agent really took the whole idea of Making Tax Digital and they built on it, and they really did. And I think Sage just pipped them in terms of the fact that they were able to bring multiple ones and you're not stuck to one ecosystem, NatWest and Free Agent. But other than that, I think that actually both of them shine examples of exactly how to look after accountants and bookkeepers during this Making Tax Digital stage. I think Hammock have niched down. They've really got their product together, and I'm really, really liking it. I think it's good. I think it's a good solution. Just maybe need a little bit more time in the oven just to give us as accountants and bookkeepers some more fuzzy feelings when we're looking at them. I think Xero had this really ambitious area and they really wanted to go for it, and it's not quite ready now, but I can see where they're going with it, right? It's just a shame they didn't spend more time in the testing phase so that Q1 they could have nailed it out of the park. I think that's my only frustration with them, right? I think if they would have had more time and had more people buy into this solution, I think we would have had a much better product now. And then QuickBooks are there. Fine, they've delivered their promise of making sure you could submit your Q1 return. But they had so much more in the pipeline that they were going to do. Their products and everything else was so ready to really wow us in this world of Making Tax Digital. And in the end, they didn't do that. They never was able to kind of showcase what their talented team were able to do. And it's such a shame, because I generally thought that, after filing my very first return with them in 2022, I thought I'd back the right ship. I thought I was ready to really work with them and go with them and really use this opportunity for them to kind of go on and show us what they're capable of doing. And they never did that. They never were able to do that for us, which I think is a real shame. So there's my look back at what Making Tax Digital software solutions we've used in our practice this time around and how we believe they kind of rate going forward. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Have I messed this up? Is there ones that I should have looked at as well? Are there other solutions out there that have done way better than what I've talked about? Or have I got these scores wrong? Like, criticize me. Let us know. That's my opinion. The rest of the Asset Accountant team, I'm going to ask them if they can score theirs. And yeah, we'll get them disputed as well. But it'd be great if you could let us know what your thoughts are. My name is Aaron Patrick. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of the Asset Accountant Network. And I will see you very, very soon in the next video. Bye for now.